Okay, so let's create some cool scenery, but also will based on some tips that we look in previous tutorials, how we can speed up some of our render, but still render a gorgeous scenery. So we'll use it two biggest render hog time. We'll use it clouds, volumetric clouds, and we will use it also reflections. So let's do this way. We'll go to add water. We'll just bring it a bit higher to the camera. Okay, we'll go to the atmosphere editor, and let's switch this standard spectral. Let's give it us a little bit more saturated colors. It's what I want to use it right now. And next, we'll go inside the clouds. Let's click on this arrow, and this arrow will open for us preview, so we can select the clouds that we wanted. Notice right here, I also have it names by the tabs. It's kind of help to know what I want to use it, what name of the areas. And if you don't have it, you can easily enable. Just click on this gear. It will open the browse options and just enable show tab names in a tab. And you can click apply to all. So after this, you will have these names kind of pop up. Okay, one what I want to use in it's called fluffy canvas clouds. So let's go ahead and click on them. And you notice right here, we have the beautiful clouds already applied. I want to modify a few properties with these clouds. One, I want take opacity is increasing. So it's add a little bit more depth, but at the same time, we'll take density and put it maybe down to about 4%. So we'll give it this kind of still lighting, but there will be softer and less obvious clouds going in. So next, we'll take details amount and pop up all over. So you will see how many details add to the edge. And many times when you take a clouds high in the air, you maybe want to reduce details amount to simulate high altitude. But because this one is quite a bit low on altitude, I want to increase details, but also just take a little bit feathering down. And we'll maybe come back to ambient light soon, and same as to other properties. But right now, let's go now take our sun, right here, sunlight, and I want to move it just a little bit on the side of the camera, okay? And we'll go take it down. So you can see we have the beautiful sunset. So let's go take even a little bit more down. Maybe some way around this area. Okay, we can play around, we can bring sound a little bit closer to the camera, but we're creating what they call golden hours, and you can see it's really with lighting, this look like almost golden hour with our atmosphere. The one thing, what I don't like it by default in main cameras, you'll notice after exposure is enabled, and it does not sometimes process right lighting. So I want to take this and uncheck. So it's meaning what we see, it's what we render. Camera, the lighting won't be adjusted after our render. Okay, as we done this, let's go back to our atmosphere editor, and you can press just F4 to open this menu. Okay, and right here, we'll go back to the lighting. So we'll look, we have the very nice, beautiful ambient lighting. Let's maybe change slightly. So I'll go to edit color, and I put it a little bit more desaturated. Right here, you can see. And we'll take just slightly down, like this darker. So notice how we change. Now we have even more saturations applied a little bit to our ambient light. Okay, let's go back to the cloud. And on the clouds right here, we will modify this ambient lighting. So you'll notice if we go one way, it's ambient lighting come darker, and we'll move away more, increasing ambient lighting. You'll notice how lighting up the start. But again, because we did modify our lighting just a bit less saturated and darker, so they won't be like a white blob, so they will have a very nice color casting on them. Okay, again, if you want to, you can always take this ambient color as example, just set very red and see how much it's modified. It's add quite a bit red, but we don't want to do this, so we'll go back. Okay, we'll just set to our somewhat sunset kind of color. Okay, let's go back to the clouds. And you notice at this point we have 150 meters. We'll just leave it as default and height 200 meters. If you look right here on the edge, if you want to pop up this cloud slightly higher, just move maybe around 220. You can see they're going a little bit higher, maybe a little bit more, 250. Yep, let's start growing a little bit higher on this level. 290. Oh, there you go. There is about right, I think, almost touching. So we have a nice B kind of shirt. Look, clouds going very high, so we don't have too much empty space on top. Okay, maybe reduce feathering. You can play around with the amount of this. And I want to take altitude variation 100%. So you'll notice right now it's jump down, up a little bit. So let's go adjust slightly down. There you go. Altitude variation, it will take top one and kind of start shifting clouds. So it will add awesome effect to our clouds and create them. Okay, let me take a little bit density down. And again, preview on a density, so we'll have it nice soft clouds. And I think the 4 was okay. We can go back here. Let's look on opacity as well. Okay, I think this is about right settings. That will go to sky, fog, and haze. And right here we have a couple options. So you notice right edge, we have a very sharp line. I don't necessarily want to have this sharp line. To reduce, it's helped me with haze, fog, and also aerial perspective. So I want to take aerial perspective and pop up a little bit more, like to the 3. So we'll add some distance. Also, we'll take the haze, pop up just a little bit, increase. Don't worry if we start losing lights. This glowing, we will restore it in a second, but with the haze, it's help us a little bit more glowing this way. Okay, and we can increase just slightly on a fog, so this line right there, horizontal line, it will get smoother, much smoother, so we won't have this sharp line. Okay, now if we start losing glow from the sun, we'll go to the glow intensity and pop up this. And you can notice how much it start glowing right in this area. Okay, and let's take the decay and bring slightly down, so we reduce some of this yellowish color. Okay, maybe a bit more. So I want to have this nice cyan in kind of warmer color going. Okay, one thing before we close this, I want to point to this properties global settings. You notice right here we have a quality boost. By default it's set to -1, so it can be fast to render. The withdraw, our clouds will start having these dots, kind of like grain almost. So we want to take for the clouds, and again this is what it only apply to atmosphere and clouds, and we want to pop out this least to the 0. Okay, so we'll have at least basic this. You also have another quality options. It's inside atmosphere quality boost, which apply to all other settings. And here same, we have the better quality or faster. So if you think you want to create a better atmosphere, move the slider to the better, but be ready to spend quite a bit of time to waiting till all this render is completed. Okay, so let's go ahead, click OK. And one thing I want to modify now, it is probably water. So we click on a C and double time click on the material editor, or you can also just open. So we'll go open material editor. You notice on a physical we have 2 layers. We have foam and default water. Foam, it's what will go around. We don't care about this at this point, but we want to modify default water settings. And right in this area with a transparency tab, you'll notice things. We have it reflective with angle, and most important for us, it's a depth. So currently says to 70 meters. It's quite a depth. So I want to switch to the 10 meters. Notice how our transparency is changed. As well, we have a little bit darker effect. So as well, our reflective with angle, maybe a little bit too high. I don't want too bright. So we'll take this and reduce to maybe to about 30%. You'll notice as well, it will deepen a little bit more our water because we don't have that much reflection, less reflection applied to this. Okay, let's go click OK. Also, let's go back to fluffy clouds. I want to go to the clouds right here and just maybe pop up cover to 94. Just so be sure we have a very nice cover around this area. Okay. When we're ready, click OK. Be sure you save your work. Okay, and then next we'll go to set panel render. I want to render to screen, and I'm going to render a very large resolution, 1600 by 900. And this will take some time to render. So I'm going to set on a render and pause tutorial and come back when render is completed. So right here we finish rendering. Let's click OK, and you can see it took 2 hours and 5 minutes to render this scenery that we have it. Of course, we have some effects. I can see right straight line. You see how the artifacts come with the water, come closer. And also I'll see a little bit artifact right there. It does not look like cloudly, look like a straight line. Those ones we can fix it very easy. So we'll look how to work with the water to remove some of those lines, and also on some cloud customization we'll look on this as well in the next tutorials. But overall right here is your image, and you notice we render again clouds and sky. We adjust some properties here, and of course we can cut this render time probably about to 20 minutes if we was using the render up module. Again, it's $70, and you can see again it's depend on the time and resolution and other things you need. And thank you for watching this tutorial from Geekatplay Studio, and please remember visit us on the web is www.geekatplay.com or YouTube channel Geekatplay Studio.